It does not matter what you think, okay? Interesting story today. I set out on a mission today to talk to and engage with at least 5 people. And I went through this process of the mental turmoil, this battle vacillating between should I do it, should I go and approach this person to talk to them, or should I not? And in my mind, I was thinking of all possible scenarios. And when I sat down in that Starbucks, I prepared my things, I set my laptop up, put my notepad, put my reading book down in front of me, and I looked and I found one person. And I thought to myself, I need to go and do it. I need to go and speak to this person. It does not matter. But the longer I procrastinated, the longer I took, I was constantly psyching myself more and more out of doing it. And you know what? I said, okay, this is how I'm going to approach this scenario. I'm going to say this is going to be a good opener. They're going to perceive me as such if I say X. And I thought to myself, screw that, let me scrap that playbook and let me just go in cold. And as I walked over to the person, I said, it doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is if I get the engagement. It doesn't matter if it's positive or negative. And you could imagine going into a scenario such as that and your worst fears come true. It was awkward, I stalled a bit, I wasn't able to articulate myself the same way I'm doing now. There was awkward pauses. But luckily, do you know what I did not do? And I won that battle because I did it. Doesn't matter how it went, I did it. I said to myself, I am in control of my mind and I'm going to do what I set out to do. You lose all of the shots that you do not take in life, whether that be you're a guy wanting to approach a girl on the street, whether that be you see somebody there who has a potential business deal, you could secure that deal just by engaging in them in a certain way. You refuse to do it because you've psyched yourself out of the game. You haven't even gone into reality to see if there's a 50% chance you can close the deal or a 50% chance no. The worst a person can say is no, rejection, and you can learn from that. Every rejection is a way for you to learn and to enhance and re-sharpen the communicative sword from my perspective. So I learned from that first interaction. I then followed up and I used that trajectory and that momentum, I should say, to propel me to another interaction. The person ignored me. And I said, wow, I'm taking back-to-back L's. And again, maybe the old David would have said, nah, enough's enough, I can't do this. And I would have psyched myself out of all of the potential out there, because everywhere you look, there is opportunity. If you think there is an opportunity and there's a scenario where you can engage and create something of value, you possibly can. But most people think about it and psych themselves out of doing it. And I could have, in that moment, upon receiving those 2 back-to-back rejections, I could have said, oh no, I can't do this. My pride has been shot to the floor. And I said, oh, let me build on this. Let me go and talk to another person. The interaction didn't go as smoothly. So the first 3, I'm basically shooting and firing blanks, okay? I've missed the target. Then I said, okay, let me go downstairs, new setting, new scenario. So this is a 2-floor Starbucks, essentially. And I ordered a latte. While I was waiting for a latte, I saw this lady. And I said, okay, I'm going to approach this lady. I'm not talking approach like a game cold approach sort of way. I'm looking at just spreading my network and building up a network of students and a portfolio of business clientele so I can, teach English to. So I went and I spoke to this Colombian lady, lovely lady, and we had the most enriching and engaging of conversations. But had I not gone through those first few trials and errors, and that's essentially it. Life's about a numbers game. You're going to fail more times than you do succeed. But think about it. If you fail every single instance and you learn from every single lesson, you enter the next one with even more precision and less room for error. If you focus on where you made the mistake, you adjust a little bit. Okay, my approach might have been a bit awkward here. Let me recompose myself and come back and go to this next engagement with more poise, with more conviction, with more assertion. And each time you do that and you learn from these things, it's a numbers game. You might get 100 rejections, but out of those 100 rejections, maybe the next 2 you get are so precise because of your actions, because of what you've learned from that 100, that it's a guaranteed success. But most people will get to maybe 1 rejection, if any, and say, fuck it. You've already defeated yourself before even going into battle, and that's what most of us do every single day we wake up. We have amazing, vivid, colorful ideas that could change and shape our world for the good. But we sit back and say, oh, I'll do it another time. I'm not really up for it. Oh, but what if so-and-so thinks this? But what if this happens? What if that happens? The only thing that is certain, my friends, is death. With that, we should operate and we should think every engagement, everything I want to do, I should try. And I should try and execute that. And if I fail, I'll go again with even more precision and with more learnings from that previous engagement that I failed to ensure that the room for error is even smaller than it was previously. Act now. If you have an idea, start the fire, light the flame, go with full force. The failure does not matter. What matters is the fact that you even tried. And that sets you above the group. Look at this. Looking at the principles of Hermeticism. The first rule, the first law, I should say, not rule, is the mind is the all. What you create here will become your reality. If you create a reality that says, oh no, I can't engage with anybody, I'm not going to do this. If you create a reality where you always psych yourself out of a situation, how will you ever create the reality you want? You have a better chance of going and actually maybe having a 50% chance of failure than never going at all and having a 100% chance at failure, and certain death will come. That's it for now, guys.